Okay, hey guys, welcome to the channel. This is the first video of hopefully many that we're going to be doing, covering heavy metal, especially heavy metal, but also some rock and like some blues guitar technique. We're going to be doing product demos, technique demos, lessons, just about everything you can think of. I think maybe later on I'm going to try and put some backing tracks up. Just a little bit of everything that you need to get better at guitar. I know that there are a lot of channels out there on YouTube trying to do this right now, but honestly, I think some of them are kind of subpar, and the ones that are really good are kind of pay-to-play content. So, um, hopefully this channel helps you a little bit on trying to get better at guitar, and if it does, like the videos, subscribe, whatever, because we all want to get better at guitar. Hey, who doesn't? It's a great instrument and you gotta love it. So today's video, we're going to jump right in, is going to be about a technique that has been around for a long time, but that's really hit its stride in recent years with heavier metal. And that's mostly because of higher gain amplifiers, stronger guitar pickups, and that's called tapping. Now, bands have been using tapping since forever. I mean, Judas Priest back in the 70s, they were using tapping on a lot of their songs. And, it sounded good then and it sounds good now. And it's one of those techniques that will add a lot of flourish to your playing. If you can tap, then you really have something that can add a lot to your playing. It's a nice accent piece. I wouldn't really recommend it for building whole solos around or for building whole riffs around, because it does start to sound a little bit monotonous after a while. But if you add a tapped part, say, into a solo or at the end of a riff, what you're going to get is a nice accent piece, and it really makes your playing sound very interesting. And the basic idea behind tapping is that we use the fingers on what would normally be designated as our picking hand to tap or fret notes on the fretboard above the notes that we're using our fretting hand for. So I'm going to show you first a beginner exercise and then an intermediate exercise for tapping, and hopefully this helps you out a little bit. Okay, our beginner exercise, we're going to start with the tap on the 12th fret of the B string. Then release to 0. Then with our fretting hand, we're going to come down on 5, and then on 8. And then we're going to repeat this pattern. And then we're going to keep the same pattern, staying with our tapping hand at the 12th fret on B, but moving the fretting hand up to the 4th fret of the B string. So you get this. So try this, now making the transition between the 5th fret and the 4th fret. Now we're going to add one more piece, and that is bringing our fretting hand up to the 7th fret of the B string with our tapping hand remaining at the 12th fret. You may have noticed that the root notes that we're going on are moving up and down the scale at this point to keep the notes in tune with each other, and that's what most of tapping is moving notes up and down the scale relative to usually a fixed note, which is the note you're tapping. But in the more intermediate and advanced stuff, we're going to get into moving your tapping up and down the scale relative to, say, your fretting hand, or moving them against each other, but that's really advanced. So we're not going to worry about that just now. So what we're going to do is, just like I showed you before, 12, 0, 5, 8, 12, 0, 4, 7, but then we're going to move to 12, 0, 7, 10, and we're going to play each one through a few times, just however many you feel comfortable. That rhythm I was making up was really, I was just making it up, I mean, to sound good. So, whatever. So, let's give this a try. So, you can hear that really is kind of an interesting technique that adds a lot of interesting stuff off of very few notes. So, that's an intermediate or a beginner exercise, I should say. And, practice that through until you've built up the muscles on your picking hand. Because keep in mind, with the exception of your thumb on your picking hand, which probably moves a little bit, you don't use those fingers very much. So when you start out tapping, it's not going to feel good. It's going to feel like learning to play guitar all over again. And I'm not going to lie, it's going to suck. Because, I'm sure you remember when you were probably first learning your fretting that, hey, ouch, this hurts my fingers. And it's going to be the same thing on your picking hand when you're trying to learn to tap. You've got to rebuild the muscle. You have to build your calluses up. It's not really that fun, but the result is good. So bear with it, and just like when you were learning to play with your fretting hand, it's going to really pay off for you. So let's move now to an intermediate exercise. And in this one, we're going to be tapping across 3 strings and up and down a scale. So what we're going to do, in this case, our tapping hand is moving while our fretting hand is remaining still, except moving across the 3 strings. So first, your root is going to be at 9 across the E, A, and D strings. Low E, A, and D strings, I should say. But then on your E string, your tap is going to be at the 14th fret. On your A string, it's going to be at the 16th fret. And then on your D string, you're going to come down to the 17th fret. And in every case after that, you're going to release it back to the 9th fret and then play 11 and 12. So on your E string, you're going to have, on your A string, you're going to have, and on your D string, you're going to have, and then when you run them all together, you're going to get a tapped scale. Okay, so hopefully that was helpful. There will be more videos on the way, and if you enjoyed it, subscribe, like, feel free to comment. Any lessons you want to see, just feel free to let me know. There's another guy who's going to be coming in on this in the next couple of videos, who is another guitarist. He's going to show you some rhythm techniques. We're also going to double up on some guitar reviews. So there's a lot more content yet to come. Keep an eye out and, have fun playing. Always make sure you remember that it's really all just for fun, no matter how good you are or how much you think you may suck. But, if that's the case, try and get better. And, hey, I'll see you all next time. Have a good day.